Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Corey with Camera Coach, and welcome to another episode of Behind the Lens. Yes, if you're new to this series, it is really just a quick blurb, kind of 2-3 minutes, diving into the details behind an image on my collection here. And so the collection grows as I take more pictures and I look back at some old stuff I've done, just some of my favorites here and there, and we just talk about how that photo was achieved. Here is today's topic right here. This is a studio shot. As I was kind of building out the studio on Webster in partnership with Rogue Media, I, of course, had to do some samples, make sure things were working out right. And so this one is one of my favorites from my test sessions. And so let's kind of dive into some details. First off, the gear, right? So this was using a Canon 5D Mark III. That is a full frame camera. So if you're not familiar with the difference, full frame and crop sensor, I've got a podcast on that. And that will help you kind of understand just kind of the difference, because not everyone needs a full frame. I prefer it in studio just because of the fact that it really gives more space, right? The lens that was used was a 24 to 105 millimeter f4. So the f4 is great. I don't really feel like I have to have the 2.8 on that, just because for studio, the lighting, you can adjust the power there and everything, and keep the depth. Like the aperture also feeds into the depth of the photo. So if you go too shallow, then you lose a little bit, I feel, right? And so there you go. That's the gear. Settings, shutters at 1/200. Right, if you're using a flash, which this one definitely is using a flash, but it's not a speed light, so it doesn't show a little lightning thing next to the JPEG on this particular one. But there's definitely a lighting wirelessly triggered, and for that you can't actually usually go above about 1/200 unless you're using high-speed sync lights, and so that's kind of another topic for later. Aperture set at f8, right? So I have an f4 lens, did not stop all the way down to the f4. And so that just, I didn't really go wide open, right? So because I want the depth, I want the shadows, I want that stuff there, right? And then, so my ISO is 160, which is pretty low. Again, because of I'm adding my own light, I can just go up on my power there instead of going up on my ISO and creating more grain in the shot, right? So the actual focal length is not recorded. Just something happened, I think, on that sensor there. And so if you look at the shot, you can tell, right, it's not really an ultra wide, like 24 sort of thing. I would tell you this is probably somewhere about in the 85 range. So 85, 105, somewhere in that range, because it is just a shoulder on up shot. Okay, and so there you go. That's pretty much it. If you like this type of thing where you really want to dive into just how certain photos are made, take a look at the YouTube channel, Photo Camera Coach. That is going to have a few more of these episodes. And the entire archive is available to Patreon supporters. So that is something as well. So if you want to head over to patreon.com/camera coach, you can actually join. And there are going to be some that are in the archives that you don't see on YouTube anymore, just if you're perusing through YouTube. All right, if you want to send a photo in for some feedback, you can do that too. You can either message through Facebook or Instagram. Our Instagram is camera.coach. Facebook is at Photo Camera Coach. And I'll be glad to give any sort of feedback. And if you're someone that's in the Waco area, then we can set up a time for you to come by the studio or come by the office, and we can even just sit down and talk. So that's pretty much it. If you have any other questions, feel free to, again, message. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. Have a great day.